All right, we have Ingrid Taylor here with us today. She's an administrator at Great Oak High School that oversees the technology department, and I'm going to ask her a few questions. She was kind enough to uh, visit with us. She's up at Big Bear right now, having a good old time, but she took a few minutes out of her day to discuss some of the issues with social media in the classroom. So, hi, Ingrid.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Um, Couple questions. We don't have a lot of time, but the first one is social media resources such as like Facebook and Twitter. How would you incorporate those into the classroom if you could, or at your school as an administrator, as you oversee everything at the school, particularly technology? But how would you use those resources at the school?
In my personal class in science, teaching science, I would not use it most likely, but I am actually currently, right now, at an ASB. Our Associated Student Body is doing a leadership retreat right now, and it came up as one of the options to help with communication on our campus. The students are saying that all of them have either a Twitter or Facebook or a MySpace, and that if we could somehow make a Great Oak High School Facebook, that students would be able to communicate through that and learn what's happening on our campus. And so I can see it being used as a communication tool and to make our students more involved on our campus, but I'm not sure that I would actually use it in my science classroom teaching chemistry. And so, but I could see the kids actually would like to get something started to use Facebook or MySpace, and a lot of them have mobile devices that they could actually get updates through Twitter or Facebook right on their phone. So if we have a social event going on campus, such as a varsity football game or a varsity soccer game that they're trying to get a group of kids to go to, or an event on our campus, then I could see it being used that way.
Okay. Now, as an administrator, you mentioned on their mobile phones and all that, and that's the easiest way that the kids, especially nowadays, are checking their Facebook and Twitter. But they're not allowed to use their phones on the campus, and people like you scream and yell at them and take their phones away from them. So, how you see that being a challenge, having to manage that?
On our campus, we do have a no electronic device policy between 7:30 and 2:30. So yes, I can see that. I mean, it's happening rampantly anyway. The kids are still checking their phones. Um, for us, if it was a communication device, I would hope that they would be checking it. If it was a update type of thing, then maybe we could limit it to before school and after school, and they can just kind of check and see what's happening on our campus the day before, or however, whenever we update it, because they are checking them the minute they get off school. But yes, it would be an issue, and that's one of the issues of electronic devices in general, and all the iPod touches and everything, is the kids can get internet on them, and we really shouldn't have them out on our campus because we can't monitor it.
Right, but don't you see that, like, wouldn't you think internet is a great resource for them? So if they were able to use them and use them the right way in the classroom, I mean that's a lot of information at their fingertips.
It is an awesome resource, but we can't monitor what they're doing. And we've had kids cyberbullying each other. We've had kids texting pictures of themselves. I mean, there's so much else going on there that it's not okay for us to allow it, because things that we shouldn't be allowing end up happening across cell phones and
Right.
the internet.
You think that any day it would be? You think someday we'll get to that point where it could be controlled, they could be used?
You know what? I mean, it's actually a great resource for us, because when there is threats and stuff, we can actually pull their Facebooks or their record of their phone or their texts, and we have evidence. But at the same time, it's not something they should be doing during school hours, because they're not using it for the right purposes. Yes, it is a great resource, but it's very difficult to. I mean, on our computers on our campus, we can do a spam, like not a spam, a watchdog, basically something that looks over them and makes sure they're not on sites that they shouldn't be on. We don't have that control over their phones, and we don't
Right.
have the control of who they're texting or who they're Facebooking or whatever else.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're out of time, but thanks for discussing that. It seems like it's a big challenge, but hopefully someday we'll be able to use those resources, and that's for you to deal with.
Thanks.
All right. Well, thanks, Ingrid.
You want the other question?
No.
You forgot one.